Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel for another Bible Study Sunday. Today I'm going to be talking about Exodus. If you're following along with this devotional book here, I have my place marked. We are in Exodus. And first of all, with this little book here, um, on page 9, if you happen to have this book, it tells you the author of Exodus. It says not stated but traditionally attributed to Moses. In Exodus 34:27, God tells Moses, write thou these words, and Jesus in Mark 12:26 quotes from Exodus as the book of Moses. That's what it says as far as who the author is. The date approximately in the mid 1400s BC, and in 10 words or less, God delivers his people, the Israelites, from slavery in Egypt. And that's what I've been reading about so far in Exodus. And then there's a big old long paragraph here giving you details on what's going on in Exodus. And it is about trying to release the Israelites from the slavery going on in Egypt. So I like this little book because when I start a new book in the Bible, I can go and say, who wrote this? So that's what that is about. And moving forward, I'm going to start with day 29 in the devotional book. And I'm going to read, I got marked here with a piece of yarn, but I'm going to read for day 29. It says, God made the world and everything in it. He still sustains and controls the earth and all of its inhabitants. He proved his power over his creation in the multiple plagues he brought down on Egypt. The same God with the same amount of power still reigns today. He is to be feared, but as one of his children, his power ought to give you comfort and courage because there is nothing in your life that he does not have control over. So that that's a good one. I like that. And it's every page for the day's reading prepares you for what you're about to read. And I really like how this book helps everything that you're supposed to read for that day meld together, and it helps make more sense. And so for day 29, it said Exodus 7:25 to 9:35 is the parts in Exodus that you would read to go with day 29. So, and that's talking about the plagues. Turn the book this way. That's talking about the plagues, and the plague of blood starts in 7:14, and then you've got frogs, gnats, flies. I made a list here. Livestock, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and the plague on the firstborn. Those are all the plagues that he did because in my notes here that I wrote, God was trying to show the Egyptians who he really is. And the plagues were to show that he is the one and only true God. And in Exodus 23, where Exodus 20 is bringing up the Ten Commandments and telling us what the Ten Commandments are. In Exodus 3, it says, you shall have no other gods before me. So that ties in with, and that was day 29, and that just kind of ties in with all the reading I've been doing lately with the Ten Commandments telling you that, and then through all these plagues, he's trying to say, I am God, you have to listen to me, and if you don't, this is what's going to happen. And then you have these plagues. I was trying to find, because I'm sure I read it in here and it just kind of slipped past me and I didn't get it. Moses is a servant of God because Moses is the one God's telling him, go here and tell them this, go here and tell them that, and do this to prove to them that I'm saying what I'm saying. And Moses is his servant, and Moses and Aaron are the ones that are being sent. Aaron is Moses's brother, and I believe I read somewhere that he was the founder of priesthood for the Israelites. Don't quote me on that because I know I read something about that somewhere, but right at the moment, I don't know exactly where I read it. But it was something like that, anyways. But so these two are sent out by God, and God gives them the power. 7, Exodus 7, it says, "The Lord said to Moses, See, I have made you like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet. You are to say everything I command you, and your brother Aaron is to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go out of this country. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you." So I don't know. I wasn't really understanding if God is sending them over to get Pharaoh to release them from slavery, why would God want to harden his heart? So I looked it up. Why did God harden Pharaoh's heart on purpose? I found it on Google. The point of the story is not to tell us that God engineers evil. Rather, it is a cautionary warning to you, the reader, saying, Don't be like Pharaoh. Strange things happen in the human heart and mind when we let the evil urges of our broken nature go unchecked. So I'm going to read that again. Strange things happen in the human heart and mind when we let the evil urges of our broken nature go unchecked. So these are lessons, these are examples that he's done these things, but it's an example to us. So now I'm going to read the devotional for day. Oh, wait, I think I already did read the devotional for day 29, did I not? God made the world and everything in it. He still sustains and controls the earth and all of its inhabitants. He proved his power over his creation in the multiple plagues he brought down on Egypt. The same God with the same amount of power still reigns today. He is to be feared, but as one of his children, his power ought to give you comfort and courage because there is nothing in your life that he does not have control over. That was day 29. I really don't remember if I read that at the beginning of this video or not. So if I did, I'm going to delete one of those readings. I'm going to go to Psalm 24, 1 and 2. Okay, Psalm 24, 1 and 2. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, for he founded it on the seas and established it on the waters. And again, it's telling us what it's been telling us all through periodically throughout the reading so far, that he is the one. He is the one true, one and only creator, one and only God. And we are to worship no one other than him. Okay. So day 30, it says, the process of getting the Israelites out of Egypt was a painful one. God continued to harden Pharaoh's heart, which in turn caused him to oppress the Israelites more and more. In the midst of it all, it would have been difficult not to question what possible purpose God could have for putting his people through this. And yet, we can look back on it now and see that God's purposes were to free his people, to show his power and glory to the heathen nation, and to start his people on a journey to a beautiful land they could call their own. Worship in the midst of confusing and frightening circumstances. Rely on God to use your suffering for his glory and for your good. It says, on the first day of the 3rd month after the Israelites left Egypt, on that very day, they came to the desert of Sinai. After they set out from Rephidim, they entered the desert of Sinai, and Israel camped there in the desert in front of the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain and said, This is what you are to say to the descendants of Jacob, and what you are to tell the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and now I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession. Although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites. So, Exodus 19 is pretty long, and I did read it all, but I also like to go to Google sometimes and just ask, what is the meaning of this, or what's the lesson that's supposed to be learned? Just to kind of help me understand what I just read. So I'm going to Google Exodus 19. So the lesson for the whole chapter of Exodus 19, it says, the lesson here is that meeting with God requires personal preparation. It means seeking Him with an undivided heart and mind. Okay, Jesus has made it possible for us to have access to God 24/7, but we still need to show God the honor and reverence due His name whenever we come into His presence. So that's the lesson. That's what Exodus 19 is supposed to be telling us. What does Exodus 19:20 teach us? In Exodus 19:20, we see God lay down the law of His chosen nation through the 10 commandments. Yes, these commandments would ensure the people having a right relationship with God and each other, so we could be set apart for all the world to see. Can you imagine what this world would be like if everybody followed the 10 commandments? I've thought about that before. Didn't really know what all the 10 commandments were. I knew some of them, and I've seen posters with the 10 commandments written before I started actually reading this Bible. And I think the world would be a much better and safer place if we held to the 10 commandments, if we followed the 10 commandments, and even if our um, laws that we have follow the 10 commandments. Can you even imagine how things would be? That makes me think. I think I will read them off. Um, God spoke all of these words. This is Exodus 20, the 10 commandments. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt and out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or on earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your son, your daughter, or your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor your foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Covet, excuse me. Or his male or female servant, his ox or donkey or anything that belongs to your neighbor. So that covers a lot, and especially what's going on in today's world. Can you even imagine, like I was saying before, can you even imagine what this place would be like if we all followed the 10 Commandments? So I think that's all that I have for today. Um, I feel like I started making this video and I didn't like how it was turning out, so I stopped it, deleted it, and started over. So that's why I think maybe I read some things twice in here, but I'm going to edit this video and I will get rid of some things if I did repeat myself. But that's all I have today for the Bible study. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me stumble over things. And maybe I make sense, maybe I don't make sense, but I'm learning and I'm trying to make sense of it, and I'm trying to put it all together so I can understand. And I hope that you guys are studying with me, whether you're new at the Bible like I am, or if you've been reading the Bible for a while. And please leave a comment in the comment section below to help me understand some things that I'm trying to. If I get something wrong, if um, I don't know, if I talk about something and my impression of it is like off or wrong, please let me know. You don't need to be rude about it. Just let me know, because I'm trying to learn too. And I really want some feedback to help me understand this, because Google helps me, but then again, it doesn't help me. It just depends on what I'm looking for. So anyway, I guess you guys, or I hope you guys have a good rest of your day today, and I will see you next time back on here. Survive with what you know. Have a great day. Bye.